I'll try to make this the last, stupid episode. I'm sure nobody freaking cares about my life anyway. So, I'm on government support now. Dr. Z helped me, get me, some Social Security benefits. It was a very shameful situation for me. My parents were very disappointed. My mother often got angry at me, telling me that I had just given up. With the benefits I'm on, I can still find a part-time job, but I've tried and everyone has turned me away. But the medicine I get from, not medicine, the money I get from Social Security helps pay for my medicine and my doctor visits. It's not a whole lot of money. It's really only $500 a month. I live with my parents and our relationship isn't great anymore. My brother died in 2020 and my mom kind of went insane after that. And my dad has just never taken my diagnosis well, and he's started to drink more, and he's even gotten himself into a few DUIs. I just try my hardest to keep the house clean and take care of the pets that we have. I've stopped cutting and trying to commit suicide, mostly because every suicide attempt I ever made, I always ended up surviving. I still suffer from seizures. Luckily, I only suffer maybe about 2 or 3 a year. Before I would have them every couple of months. It was funny. Sometimes I'd have a seizure and I would wake up and I would just go back to work to the popcorn store because I was the only person who could fill the slot at the time. I still suffer from depression very much. I try to cheer myself up with video games, and I enjoy using Twitter because I get to tell jokes on Twitter and talk about my favorite games and books and manga. And I don't know if you can call them friends, I guess online friends. I have a few that I can talk to. But I just feel like a worthless human being who doesn't really deserve to be around others. Everything in my life has always ended in failure or disappointment. And after 2020 hit with COVID and my brother's death, and then my mom's friend Gail died, and then one of my cousins died from a freak work accident, I just started to see life as just a series of unfortunate events. It's funny, that was my favorite book series when I was in middle school. I never thought I'd be living it now. Now I'm 30, I live off government assistance, and I have no friends, nobody special in my life. My parents have basically given up on me. I'm just a live-in maid and chauffeur for them when they need me. I try to look on the brighter side of things. At least my parents haven't kicked me out of the house. Although my mother has threatened to kick me out of the house because she hates what I've become. She wanted me to go to college and get a big degree and become a scientist or a doctor. She sees me as a complete failure. I'm sure she would love it if I ended up walking around Dallas and got shot to death like Zachary did. She seems to have a much easier time loving children when they're dead than when they're alive. All she talks about is her dead son. Zachary was a drug addict his whole life, and he was always in and out of prison. But I'm the bad child because I lived, and I'm useless. There's real no happy ending to this video, is there? Every day, it's just a struggle to pretend that everything is okay. The only joy I get is from escapism and video games and books. I've tried writing a few stories of my own, only for those to end in failure as well. Back when I was in school, even when I was struggling to graduate high school, teachers would say that my writing was always very well done. Well done like a steak. But I just can't bring myself to have the energy to even try anymore. How am I going to end this video? I don't know. I guess I could swallow a bottle of pills and just call it a night. I guess with depression, it's very important to take your medicine. My medicine keeps me sane. Oh, yeah, and the whole part about me being schizophrenic. Dr. Zernick. Damn it, I said his name. Oh well. He's a good doctor. I wouldn't be surprised if people can't even spell his name correctly. But Dr. Z doesn't like to use the term schizophrenic. But he still gives me antipsychotic medication prescribed to schizophrenics. I guess he just sees that maybe seeing myself as schizophrenic makes me feel more worthless. Well, I still got a couple minutes left on this video. What else can I say? Every day's a struggle. Every day I think about suicide. Just the other day I went to IHOP because they're open late, and I'm always eating dinner by myself anyways. I make sure there's food in the fridge for my parents, but we don't really have family meals, so I'm often left to just eat by myself. And there's a overpass by this particular IHOP, and I just thought what it would be like to just jump off the bridge. Would it end? How much pain would I go through? And what if I survive and just end up with a humongous hospital bill that I can't pay? since I'm on Social Security, I'm on that government insurance, but it really doesn't pay very well. The last time I was in the hospital, I ended up having to pay around $4,000. So I don't really go to the hospital anymore when I feel sick, or really even the doctor. I guess if anything really bad happens to my health, I can always break into my dad's gun safe and just end my life that way. Well, my parents have mostly given up on me. At least my dad sometimes acts like he wants me to still live. One time, it was actually just last year, I managed to get a hold of some dangerous medicine, and I swallowed a whole bunch and locked myself in my room. He broke the door down and managed to grab me, and scared, I ran away from him into the streets. I was only wearing a t-shirt and underwear. Obviously, seeing a grown woman walk around in only her underwear and shirt outside freaked out the neighbors, and the cops were called. The cops came and picked me up and took me to a mental hospital. They handcuffed me, and I've been handcuffed before. After all, I spent so much time in mental hospitals in my high school years. I knew how to slip out of some restraints. I took my wrists are very thin despite the rest of my body being fat, and I'm able to kind of bend my hands in such a way that it's easy to slip out of handcuffs. And I remember I was sitting in a waiting room waiting to be taken to the mental hospital, and there was a guy beside me who'd been arrested, and he was also in cuffs. And I remember sliding off my cuffs, and he was like, "Whoa, that's a really neat trick." I handed the handcuffs back to the officer and told him for certain people it's probably best to use those. The word just slipped my mind. Zip ties. It's a lot harder to slip out of zip ties than handcuffs. The cop didn't even put handcuffs back on me. I think he was kind of just as freaked out by the other person beside me. So, yeah, my life's just been a series of failures and hospital stays and mental hospital stays and seizures and absolutely giving up and living off the government like some kind of leech. Hopefully, I'm trying to find employment elsewhere. It's maybe this year I'll be lucky. I certainly hope so. I try to keep myself distracted. You can probably tell by all my stupid other YouTube videos and my dumb Twitter. But in reality, this is what I'm like. I'm not happy. I'm not funny. I'm just a shell of a human, to be honest. I wish that I died a long time ago.